Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Safer Kentucky Act continues to be a hot topic as lawmakers debate two versions of the bill. And yesterday, God's Food Pantry was out in Pulaski County to lend a helping hand to the community.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 5 a.m. on Wednesday, March 13th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
And a good Wednesday morning to you, Olivia. Hope everybody's got that cup of coffee brewing. Temps kind of similar to yesterday morning. They vary across the region as we check out the view right now outside our studios. Yeah, it's clear as a bell, mid-40s, yes, warmer than yesterday. But what I mean, temperatures similar to what we had yesterday morning is the fact that, well, with clear skies and calm winds, we vary from the mid-30s to the lower 50s. Nice weather continues heading through today. Going to hold the slightest risk of a shower or sprinkle west of a line from Hazard to Jackson, more so as you make your way toward Danville and Somerset. And the showers really come back into play as we head through Friday. 37 to make your way toward Manchester, 52 Jackson and Prestonsburg. Veil of high clouds across the region. That is all we've got right now. That's the complex that the short-term model gun is struggling to handle, and the reason why I'm going to hold that threat of a shower or sprinkle the further west you go, over toward and beyond 75 and towards 65. Forecast high this afternoon and Hazard to 71. Our next opportunity for rain on Friday, we'll time it out with your First Alert 7-day forecasts in just a few moments. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. A sad update this morning on a story we first brought you over the weekend. A Powell County one-year-old girl who was on life support following a fire has died. Her mother posted the update last night on Facebook. Kiki was injured in a fire Friday morning. Her dad ran in to get her. He received serious burns. Monday, the family held a prayer vigil for Kiki, praying for a miracle. A preliminary hearing for the man involved in an officer-involved shooting in Laurel County happened yesterday. Dylan Sutherland was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder of a police officer last month. The case will be heard by the Laurel County grand jury on April 19th. State senators are now weighing two versions of a massive bill to cut crime. Lawmakers debated for hours yesterday on the Safer Kentucky Act. It includes increased penalties for certain crimes and a 3-strike rule for violent offenders. They'd get life in prison for a third violent conviction. The current version of the bill makes camping in public areas a crime. Some say officers should refer the homeless to help first before trying to arrest them.
Making sure that we respond not just to penalize the conduct, but to respond to the root causes of their homelessness in the first place.
Homelessness is causing our neighborhoods to spiral down. People are afraid to go conduct business. They're afraid to go out and walk in the evening.
A new report says the bill's sponsors may have based it on anecdotes and out-of-state data. Yesterday morning, leaders gathered for the 56th Governor's Prayer Breakfast. Governor Andy Beshear focused on his last 4 years in office and how his faith has helped him through obstacles. The governor was also joined by Jewish and Muslim leaders who talked about coming together as a state. Former UK point guard Dominique Hawkins was one of the keynote speakers. He shared how his faith played a role in his life.
At the state of Kentucky, we need to just come together, smile at each other, show love.
The theme for this year's prayer breakfast was Forward Together in Faith, Empathy, and Compassion. Community members in Pulaski County received a helping hand from God's Food Pantry in Somerset. WYMT's Jack Demler was there for the first sharing day and has more about the ways the organization is working on helping its community.
Giving a helping hand to those in need when there is an abundance to give.
We want to share with our entire community. Sometimes we have more than we share with just our client families who come through. We want to make sure nothing ever goes to the dumpster.
God's Food Pantry hosted a sharing day, allowing community members in need the chance to stock up on necessities.
A lot of people will tell you that this is what helps us to get by, and that maybe there's been a life circumstance or a life change that's just helped to put them in a position where they have a need, but they still, don't qualify for the actual services inside.
One of the many ways God's Food Pantry helps those just trying to get by.
Just really a blessing for those families, and we also have some community members who come and bless the people who live next door to them or a family that they might know that's in need.
Along with multiple sharing days throughout the year, God's Food Pantry is starting a canned food drive to help keep the shelves stocked for the summer.
When the kids are out of school, they're not receiving that breakfast and lunch while they're at school, and so the families find themselves having more need during the summertime than they do at other times of the year. And so we are trying to make sure that we don't have empty shelves this year, so we have kicked off our Candemonium food drive.
A food drive that pairs teamwork and competition with lending a hand.
For me, everything that happens here is an act of love, and seeing our community work together, building something together, building a network of help for those in need, that's the blessing in all of it.
In Somerset, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
For more information on the canned food drive, you can visit the God's Food Pantry Facebook page. And thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we return, virtual reality is giving a real-world boost to older Americans as new data shows how tech is fighting loneliness.
And we don't need virtual reality when it comes to the weather this week. It has been a fantastic stretch. Can it roll on? And when does this arrive? We'll let you know. Your First Alert 7-day forecast is coming up right after the break.